Hey everybody, Stock Catcher here. In this video, I'm going to be going over several stocks that have potential. If you're new to the channel, I recommend you hit that subscribe button and join the family. I share traded this early so that people have the best risk reward. I talked about Beyond Meat at 58 cents and then ended up just ripping face over 1,400%. A lot of people were messaging me saying that they did great. A lot of people banked. And it's unfortunate that it did sell off really hard today, but remember I mentioned this stock at 58-cent area. I didn't start posting about it at $7, $8 like people on Reddit. So that if it was that price, if it was already up over 1,000%, I definitely would not have made several videos and post about it, right? Because I don't want people burned. And as usual, everything I say is not financial advice, just my opinion, right? So Beyond Meat, a lot of people are still probably wondering about. Before I go into that, actually, the recaps, right? I used to post recaps every video, but I'm decided not to do that because it just takes up time. And if you've been following me a while, you already know, right? I hit a lot of bangers every single day. So Beyond Meat, actually, today, it made a very big sell-off. It dropped over 70%. And to people that's watching, if something drops a lot, right? If a stock drops 70%, 80%, there's a strategy called the cap bound strategy. And what that is essentially is when you're speaking about technicals, after a stock makes a big decline, just based off technicals, there will most likely be a bounce, considering the fact that Beyond Meat had over 2 billion volume today. I believe this stock hit the Guinness World Record. I was reading online that this and a stock I'll be talking about later, AI, they were just massive amount of volume where it was over 2 billion, and that's very historical considering that these stocks are moving at such a high rate as well. It's not just in terms of volume, but in terms of the percentage amount that both stocks went up. For Beyond Meat, like I said earlier, this ran over 1,400%. And people might be thinking, oh, is this stock done? Well, if you want my 100% answer as a trader that's been in the stock market for 7 years, unfortunately, I'm not saying that it's gonna go to zero, right? But in terms of will it go back to 20, as of now, I would have to say no, right? I'm just keeping it real as possible. I don't think that it's gonna go to 20 plus as of now, because what ended up happening was this stock was starting to trap shorts, right? I was doing the price analysis in live real time, and then you saw that the massive gap up in pre-market. A lot of people got, a lot of bears probably got really smoked in this squeeze right here, which is what I talked about in the after hours yesterday, right? The stock went from 450 to 885, and then after that, there was an opportunity for the stock to reclaim over the extended hours high and then continue squeezing, but the selling was just way too strong. If you go to the chart yourself, this stock, the selling volume was insane actually. After it hit the multi-top, it rejected so hard that there was just no chance for the squeeze, quote unquote, to happen, right? So that being said, will this stock go up after this big drop? In my opinion, yes, it will, but it really have to be dependent on the timing, right? I said in the live chat today that 250 level is key. That 250, the psychological level, and then you could check yourself. Go to the chart right now, and you could see it made a double bottom after it went to 260. Over 250, it bounced multiple times actually. So if it goes under $2, $2.50, then it's probably gonna, it's really not good. So looking at Beyond Meat, if you talk about the potential catalyst, there is potential catalyst coming for the stock. So if you're watching this video and you're holding Beyond Meat, look at the dates. Remember the dates, guys. November 4, that's not long from now. It's Q3 result data, as well as if you look at the catalyst on October 28. Look for potential filings, right? Look at basically the convertible exchange deadline. And you really want to be paying attention to these news releases as well, right? Remember, Yesterday, Beyond Meat announced news about Walmart and then ended up just ripping face. So you really have to be careful with these type of stocks, guys. I say every single day for a reason. And I'm not trying to, sound like I'm lecturing anybody. It's just I genuinely want to help people. And in the stock market, right? I'm not sharing financial advice, but I genuinely want to help people. That's why every day on the live stream I say you gotta manage risk. You gotta manage risk. Trading is not easy. It's because I'm speaking from experience. These stocks, they drop really quick in a very harsh, brutal way, right? So the stock market doesn't discriminate. It humbles every single person watching the video, myself included. If you trade where you get cocky, it's gonna come up. It's a matter of when, not if you're gonna get a huge red moment, and it's not fun. I'm speaking from experience, right? It's not fun at all. So that being said, Beyond Meat, to sum it up, yes, this definitely can bounce, and I do think it will, in my honest opinion. But I do not expect this to end up like AMC, where it goes over 10 and goes crazy, right? Like 20 plus. That's my honest thought. So if you're holding this stock, again, not financial advice, but let's say hypothetically speaking, let's say I bought the top. I didn't do this, but I'm just trying to explain in a way that people could understand, or entertainment, right? So let's say I top ticked it. I got a bunch of FOMO, and then I bought it right there at 8:85 in the 5 a.m. That's literally when I'm sleeping. But let's say I bought it right there, right? So what you could do, in my opinion, again, not financial advice, you would again, averaging down is not something I recommend. Based on my experience, as well as other traders agree, averaging down to a loser is not a good thing to do. But in this circumstance, when you're seeing a stock with over 2 billion volume, huge amount of liquidity, potential future catalyst, social media attention, as well as on top of that, this stock is number one. It's like trending. It's not some random China, China, what I'm talking about. This is Beyond Meat. So what I would do is average down right near that level I was talking about, over 250, like around 253, and that would drastically bring down the average to, let's say, I'm trying to do mental math. It's gonna probably drop it down to like $4 for 25. So now that the average is down, with this potential catalyst, as well as potential technical cap bounce, there's a very nice chance that you could break even, or you could get green, right? Think about it. This stock right now, it's at 320. So for it to go up $1, that's very doable, in my opinion. I think this definitely could go over 4 again. So that's my opinion. Again, not financial advice. It's just it's what I would do personally, right? And I never suggest anybody to oversize on any position, right? So be careful. So next stock we gotta talk about is NUAI. This is a multi-day setup I talked about today. If you go to the chart, this stock has been making a really strong move up, and it's in the right sector, as you can see right here. AI sector as well. On top of that, NUAI has been constantly just getting soaked over and over and over. Gold right now, to the extended time frame, every single time this stock makes a dip, it gets soaked. So the level I'm looking at right now for NUAI has to hold over that 385 level, 385 ideally, for multi-day continuation, and then under that I want to see 350 hold. So this is another stock that I highly recommend you add it to your watch list. But here's the thing, same situation with NUAI and BYND. Both of these stocks I mentioned early, so they already made over the 1,000% run. You could check from the beginning of the move, they both made over a 1,000% run. So it's not wise, in my opinion, to be chasing something up over 1,000%. Rather getting in stocks that did not run 1,000%, right? I hope you understand what I'm saying. That does not mean that this is not going to go higher. I think it could potentially definitely multi-day, but I'm saying you have to be careful when you're picking these stocks that already ran 1,000, 1,500%, right? So, and UAI is is in a nice sector as well, and you have to keep an eye on it. Next stock we got to talk about would be GNS. So GNS had a really nice potential as well when you talk about this one, because dilution is always a thought, right? For a lot of people who trade small caps or invest in small caps, it's one of the biggest fears when you're talking about psychology. And after today's filing, it reduced it. It definitely reduced the potential dilution. I was seeing the GNS news, right? No more warrants outstanding, as well as the enclosed. This is from the CEO, Roger Hamilton, where he was talking about how all quantifiable damages to GNS from provable breaches are added to triple damages in RICO. So I highly recommend you follow the CEO of GNS if you're not already. I think he's a smart guy, and we're gonna see what happens in the coming catalyst, right? So next stock you gotta watch is YYAI. So YYAI, I talked about many times that 10-cent psychological level, that as well as the 15-cent psychological level. You could check yourself my past posts and my live stream. I said the levels. And if you look at it today, look at YYAI. It made a really, really nice move from 6 cents to almost 23 cents. So this stock actually had the same situation as BYND. It had over 2 billion volume. That is insane. It had almost 2.5 billion volume. So this is just breaking Guinness record at this point. And you have to think in terms of psychology, right? Think about it. A lot of people that were looking at BYND, Beyond Meat, ripping face over, what is it, like 1,400%. What do you think people are gonna feel? They're gonna feel FOMO. They're gonna feel like a need to get into something that's gonna run a lot, right? So YYAI, I've been seeing on social media, a lot of people are, are bullish on the stock, saying that, they're basically like comparing it to BYND. So this one I'll be monitoring closely to see what happens tomorrow, as well as the rest of the month, because this volume is no joke, guys. And this also has fundamental catalysts as well for it. Next stock you gotta watch is Nuburu. And Nuburu I talked about in the past couple videos, as well as my posts, and they ended up making a really nice move. You could check my posts. So Nuburu is actually targeting a multi-billion-dollar market opportunity in defense and drone system. If you watch my previous videos, you remember I talked a lot about the drone sector. I think it's really hot, and it's only going to get bigger in my opinion, especially when you're talking about what's been going on around the world as well, right? This is another earnings coming up November 13, and they're becoming private equity for new defense sectors. You really want to pay attention to Nuburu. If you want to look at levels for Nuburu, I said in the live stream today, but I'm just going to look again real quick for you guys. Nuburu definitely resistance around that 40 cents area, over 40 cents. I'm looking at 42 cent, and then over 42 cent is 44. And you have to trade off of those 5-cent nickel intervals. So after that will be 50 cent probably. So if Nuburu could go over 50 cents, that'll look really good in my opinion in terms of extended time frame. Over 50 cent, it could definitely make a multi-day continuation type of pattern. So I'll be watching this very closely. Next, the last couple stocks I want to talk about will be Indo, who's BRN, USCG, TPET, RBNE. So United States Secretary of Treasury, Scott, he mentioned that he's going to announce substantial pickup in Russia sanction. So a lot of these oil energy plays were just ripping face in after hours, and I highly recommend I watch these stocks, guys, in the coming days, and I think that there's potential depending on the price action. So like I said, guys, I don't want to make the video too long, so I have to cut it short. I definitely have more stocks, that I want to share with you guys, but I don't want to make like 20-30 minute video, guys, because you know people are busy as well as it's late here as well. So hope everybody has a great night, and I will definitely be seeing you guys tomorrow. Remember, subscribe, guys. If you want new videos, I'm gonna be posting every day. Stock Hedger signing out. Have a great night. Good night, everyone.